Hello everybody, Blue Dooley. We're back on the 53 and we're actually getting some more work done. The body just got its final coat of paint. We got mirror brackets made, some diamond plate painted.
Let me out, I'm stuck in your pocket.
We're getting interrupted by text messages. We got some underglow mounted. We haven't got it all wired up yet, but we're also going to do some interior work. And fingers crossed, maybe we can get those gauges on the dash to actually kind of light up. So let's get into it. Got the pinions in, and I say pinions because it came in a pack of 2. And it says portal axle pinion gear set, 11 tooth, 2 pieces. But Red Cat's website actually says these pinions fit a few different models. The hauler is one of them. So I already got one of them installed, greased it. The fit is really good, and I think these teeth are just a teensy bit bigger than the ones that actually came on the hauler originally. Although it's kind of hard to tell because I stripped them out so bad. But this also does seem to be a slightly different metal than the ones that came in the truck. So hopefully these will hold up a little better, but if not, at least I got a spare already. So get the rear end back together in the truck. I decided I wasn't really happy with the way some of the cuts were coming out on that diamond plate. So I decided to try again on another sheet. So I'm a little happier with these. I need to clean these 2 up in the front a little bit more and then notch the back, drill all the holes again. But I am happier with the way that's turning out this time. I'll come over here to the paint booth. And I did get the silver backer on the 2 pieces. That's the center section. Of course, that's the front section. I hit it with a regular automotive primer first. Some universal bonding primer, Rust-Oleum. I figured a little bit more metal or industrial primer to keep stuff to keep the paint sticking to the aluminum a little better. So I need to hit that with the blue and then finish, of course, cutting out the back. Hit it with primer, hit it with blue. Also on the diamond plate, I'll put it here and see how good it shows up on camera. You can actually see the diamond plate pattern in the glue. I wasn't really happy with that, so I am going to have to clean this piece up and figure out a little different way to stick the aluminum to this panel. But that's where that's at. The mirror, since we're out here, we're kind of covering stuff here. So I want a different style mirror than factory. I'm going to leave these mirrors on this cab because I'll use this cab for something else. But this is 1/16 brazing rod, and currently I stuck it together with the steel stick putty as I couldn't get my torch to cooperate properly. I'd like to braze the 2 rods together so it looks nicer and I don't end up with quite so much of a blob here on the end. But 1 bar going off to the top of the door just to kind of keep that mirror from walking so much. And it'll be held in place with 3 little screws. So I'm going to try brazing up another one. I think I'm actually going to take some wire out of the MIG welder and put it in there and kind of use the MIG wire to kind of help absorb some of the heat and maybe bond them a little better. I don't know if that's going to work or not, but I think it'd be a little better looking than a wad of steel stick, even though I kind of sanded that down. So here is one of the brackets I made up. It's black because I tried using the torch first and using a little bit of MIG wire to try to use that as some filler, but the MAP gas torch I have, I just can't get a good enough heat on it. So if that focuses, I managed to turn my MIG welder down to its lowest voltage setting, which is 1. And my wire feed is about 15, and I managed to get a pretty decent tack. I mean, I don't think that's going to go anywhere. It's not super pretty, but I want it to hold. I can make it pretty with some putty or something and kind of clean it up a little bit. Or maybe jam some heat shrink tubing over it and get a nice smooth. Because that is a little blobby, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to sand it and still have it hold good. But that's the basic bracket. I'm going to fiddle with it some more and we'll come back. Pretty happy. I got 2 brackets made up and managed to remember to make one opposite of the other, so one will go on each side of the cab. I'm going to take them over to the belt sander now that they've cooled off and knock down them welds a little bit, make them a little prettier. Then we can bend and flatten the feet, get some holes drilled. And we got the clear body out here now, so we can put the mirrors up to the cab and drill the holes for those. I've got the holes drilled, and it's very important that you have a center punch, so you can center punch these tiny little holes with this tiny little drill bit. In fact, the drill bit's actually the same diameter as the brazing rod. So flattening it out, again, these are mirrors. I mean, if you hit something with it, I'd imagine it's probably going to tear out, but I can't imagine, since it's an on-road vehicle, that it's going to rattle and break. So I got those holes drilled out. I'm going to go get the hardware out of the office, and then we will poke holes in the body. So as much of a pain as these were to make, boy, I am really thrilled with them on the cab. I haven't seen anybody make custom mirrors for this truck yet, so I think that'll definitely help me stand out a little bit. But yeah, I get a little putty on these, smooth them out a bit more, gunmetal them up, and I'm going to 3D print the actual mirror and then either find some mirror to put in it, or I'll go to the parts store, get some chrome tape or chrome vinyl and do it that way. But yeah, I'm really happy I spent the time to really futz with this and get these built, because yeah, I'm stoked with those. The factory mirror brackets, I'm actually going to cut the mirrors off of the new ones I got, and these are actually going to end up being my CB antenna mounts. I think I'm going to wrap MIG wire around this brazing rod, then slip some heat shrink tubing over it and make some kind of fat stubby antennas. I think that'll look really good on the truck. The other thing we got going is I picked up a Yeah Racing light bar. It's got 4 of these lights on it from the local hobby store. I was looking for some auxiliary lights, and I really kind of just wanted some big old round like KC daylighter style lights. But the local hobby shop had these from Yeah Racing. The bars across the glass are going to get removed, so it'll just be the lens and no protection on it. I'm going to put 2 on the front, and then we're going to mount 2 on the cab guard for work lights. But these are nearly as big as the factory headlights for the truck. They're a little bit smaller, so I just kind of wanted a big light to put on the truck.
I'm stuck in your pocket.
Somebody texted me back, but I'm going to use some of those nylon washers to make spacers to the front 2 are going to bolt to the bumper, and then the back 2 will be to the cab guard. But I got to remove that off of there, and well, They definitely can't stay that color or chrome, so hit them with Scotch Brite and get them painted. Got the logo painted, had a little bleed through around the holes there and on that back side, but I should be able to clean that up fairly easy. Really happy with the way the logo came out, even having some trouble with the center of the R's. But yeah, we'll let this finish drying up a little more, and then I will peel off all the masking tape and get the body sprayed. The bracket for the light bar is painted, and we got some more parts over here primered. We're trying to primer one of the lights right now. We got the mirror brackets primed. Go away, moth. And the stacks, one of them fell off, so I kind of need to take it after it dries and smooth it out a little bit. But that one's primered and ready for paint now too. So I flipped the truck upside down to put some of the underglow on. And I got these 24-inch long LED strips that you can actually cut and splice back together if you need to. And I had thought, well, I think they're designed to go on the chassis rails. They do have double stick tape on them, but the tape is atrocious. It doesn't stick at all, at least in metal. So I used some of the small key stock I have and cut it to length so it'll be between the fender wells almost. I think it needed to come back just a little more, but I brought it out to the edge of the body and have it zip tied to the chassis plates here as far out as I can. You can see they're still about even with the inside of the front tires. But this puts them below the frame rails. That way when I go to lay frame, I'm not sitting on these LEDs, and it'll hit the frame before it hits these if I go over like sharp ridges or something. So that'll kind of protect them a little bit. I could have put them on the bottom of the bed, I suppose, and then it would have just created shadows where all the plastic was, so I didn't really want to do that. But for the front, I think I'll mount some LEDs under the body to just shine straight down for underneath the front of the truck. And then the two strips I cut off are just about the perfect length for the rear of the truck. They'll again also will sit out here where they can be, where they'll be protected and not cast weird shadows from the chassis. So it's not a super good looking mounting system at the moment, but when the truck's right side up and on the ground, you're not going to see it because the LEDs are below the body line, as the body, I believe, is pretty much even with the bottom of the chassis. So these are tucked up where you're not going to be able to see them. And I think that's actually going to look better than trying to mount them to the rails where you'll actually see them when you look at the truck real low. So again, the double stick tape just does not stick very well. So I put a ton of zip ties on them to hold it all in place. But yeah, we're gonna have some underglow, and hopefully in this video we'll actually get some lights wired up and do some testing. So on to the next thing. So this is the cab guard. We got it painted up and the light bar hooked back up to it. So I covered the inside of the Lexan of this with the gunmetal since it shows. The entire headache cab guard has been coated with gunmetal. The aluminum got primered gunmetal. So I'll just have to run the wires over to the side and down. We are 2 coats into the body color on the cab. So we're making slow, steady progress. The mirrors took me a long time, and Figuring out how to do those underglow lights took a little while, but we're finally getting the truck back together. So I'm going to get one more coat of blue on the body, and then we're going to go inside and work on some of the interior pieces while we kind of wait for the paint to dry. Well, it's later than I thought I was going to get in here and doing this, but I got one of the lights just held in my helping hands here, and I stuck the gauges to the clear Lexan to see if they will light up, and they do. Of course, you can't see on camera at all, but actually the light shines through pretty good, so I think I can I can adjust how bright it is with the buyer unit, but I might actually use a yellow or amber LED on the back to tone that light down a little more than just bright white. So I am happy with that. I'm glad that actually works out. So now I can cut these out and glue the Lexan piece into the dash. So let me turn on some other lights and we'll go over a couple of other things here. So for interior, I've shown some shift levers we're going to put in. I printed out a CB radio, which I still need to clean up the knobs and switches a little bit and get it painted. And then I'll use some of the wife's beading supplies to make a cable and a microphone for it. But that'll dress up the inside a little bit. The steering wheel is painted. I need to do some detail painting on that. And this floss, that's what it's called. It's for, I don't know, embroidery work or something. But I picked that out of the wife's thing because we went to the store and got some fabric. This is charcoal blizzard. I don't know. It's polyester. But it kind of has a little bit of shimmer, sort of like the gunmetal. And it is a fleece, so it's a little on the thick side. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this out and upholster the seat in the cab. So this is going to be the back and the bottom of the seat. And then that thread I'm actually going to use to kind of hold it in place. But that'll also get the shape back in because the interior isn't smooth, it's rippled. So I think that'll look really good in the truck. And with the shifters, the radio, the light up dash, the steering wheel's been painted, or will be painted. But I think that'll kind of dress up the interior a little bit and bring the truck a little more to life. That's unfortunately going to do it for today. I kind of got a little bit later start than I wanted on some things, and then had some other things come up. So it's almost 11 o'clock right now. So I'm going to edit the video, and that way it's posted on time, because I kind of like to keep my posting schedule, just because that helps with the YouTube algorithm, as does you subscribing and clicking the like button. That helps the channel out a lot, doesn't cost you anything, and we'll catch you in the next video.